to my open house video. This is for the digital art and animation class. My name is Miss Campbell. This year is an adventure. Already it's been an adventure. In this short video, I'm going to introduce myself, give you information like how to contact me, how to schedule a conference, talk a little bit about what we're learning in class, my expectations and routines, supplies that we might need, and a little bit about the grading policy. So who am I? Well, I told you my name, Miss Campbell. It's my 17th year of teaching. I started out in elementary as a visual arts teacher. And while I was there for 13 years teaching visual art to elementary students, I started a film program for 5th graders. And we created films there while I was there. And I also had an animation program for probably about 10 of the years that I was there. So I started working with students in film and animation a long time ago in addition to visual art. Part of who I am is that I'm here for your child. I want to do whatever I can to not just help your child learn my class's content, but just be here to help them when they are struggling with whatever happens to come up in middle school, especially in a year during a pandemic. Communication with me. I have 3 different ways you can communicate with me, and my favorite one is Remind for short things. So Remind is like a texting app. It's a great communication tool, and it is so simple to sign up for. All you have to do is to text to this number 81010 or 81010 a code that is specific to this class. So for 2nd period, the code is at CF9483. For 3rd period, you're going to text 81010, and in the message you will text is at G4C28B. There are other ways to communicate with me besides Remind. Email, of course, and my email address is CampbellK2. Apparently there's another Campbell with the first name starts with K, so I'm the second. CampbellK2@duvalschools.org. Also, I do have a dedicated phone number for me through the school, and that phone number does not ring in my classroom. They don't have a way for you to do that. It won't ring in my classroom during class. It just goes straight to a voicemail, and it sends me an email that says I have a voicemail message that I can check. And that phone number is 904-455-3583. For conferences or to, if you have like a longer conversation than something that can, or questions then can be resolved over email, please feel free to request a conference. And you can do that through Remind. You can request a conference through email, or you can use the phone number. Any of those things will work. I can meet via phone, so we could do a phone conference, and I can also do a live meeting through Teams. I can set up a private channel for us to meet so that nobody else can join the meeting, and we can meet virtually that way. I'm available by appointment after school Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, before school every school day, and during my planning. First period, from 8:25 to 9:45, that's A days, I have planning then. And then on B days, I have planning 8th period, which is about 1:55 to 3:15 before I have to get ready for duty. So those are all different times that you can contact me, but I will try to be as flexible as I can with working out a time to conference if none of those work very well for you. So a little bit about the class. Digital art and animation. We're basically covering things like graphic design, digital photography, digital illustration, and animation. And through animation, the goal is to do stop motion animation and 2D drawn animation. When I teach this class, will things be done differently this year than I taught them previously? Yes. So everything is being done so that it can be taught virtually as well as face-to-face, and that changes the way a lot of the things that I've always done. For example, when we use modeling clay for stop motion, I have a big box of modeling clay and they just get what they need. Now we're trying not to share things as much. So I do have some requests as far as supplies for your child. I don't have a supply fee for the class. Instead, I need you to see if you can get the following things for you to bring home or for the child to bring to school to avoid sharing, or to use at home if it's a Duval homeroom student, or if it's a face-to-face student who has to quarantine for 2 weeks. Most important supply is a dedicated folder, binder, notebook, something with paper in it for students to take notes in. So I have a lot of lessons where I directly state, this is what I need you to write down. And a lot of that information then shows up on a quiz. And I found already that I have some students who misplace the notes. So if they're in a binder, it could be a spiral notebook, something that already has like clipped in notebook paper, that seems to help a lot. One of the things is a package of modeling clay. Modeling clay specifically needs to be the kind that never dries out. It's usually an oil-based clay. So we don't want self-hardening clay or air-dry clay or oven-baked clay. This is clay that can be reused over and over and over again. And I've been ordering stuff from Amazon. Well, I've been ordering a lot of stuff from Amazon, but this was like $6, I think. And that was a large amount of clay. And it's got the primary colors, so they can actually mix colors and create their own colors as well. A tripod for your phone or tablet if your child has one. And I'm hoping that they do. If they don't, I just need you to contact me, and I may have some devices that I can loan out. So what we're going to be using for stop motion, and we're getting into that pretty soon, is an app that is something that can be used on all the phones, whether it's an iPhone or a Samsung or whatever, Android or something like that. It's a free app called Stop Motion Studio, and you will use your phone. And so there are these little tripods that I think are great, that sometimes they come with bendable feet, sometimes they don't. And then you can get these little phone attachments. So actually you clip your phone in there, and then they can angle the phone exactly the way they want. I've been ordering this set from Amazon. This is $10, and it's a really nice little hefty one. The great thing about these, like, you can hang them up. They could hang from a tree branch to get a certain angle. You can make them go taller, you can make them go shorter, you can wrap them around, you could put it on a chair, all kinds of things that you can do with this besides just set it up like this. And then the one that I ordered that's $10 comes with the phone attachment. But if your child would be using a tablet to do their stop motion, there are tablet attachments that you can use. So this is a big tripod. If you have one of these, they work great too. And this is just an attachment for the tripod that is used for holding tablets. And so it was not very expensive either. It's a piece of plastic. It holds the tablet, and then depending on the size, and then you tighten it in the back, and so it holds it firmly so that it can be set up in a particular angle. And that's going to be important for stop motion, but also for digital photography when we're doing self-portraits. Speaking of self-portraits, the ability to take digital photos using a phone, a tablet, or a digital camera is extremely important. If they have no way to take a photo at home, please let me know and let me see what I can do. All right, classroom routines and expectations. Students should go to the Teams page. Every single time they go to the My Teams page, general channel, and I have a to-do list for each day. It'll have the date, the day of the week, and then it says to-do list. So today was 9/14, Monday's to-do list. And then it tells them exactly what they're supposed to do in the order that they're supposed to do it. Almost every day, the order is 1, complete the attendance form, and 2, join the live meeting. So we have the live meeting at the beginning of class. It is important when we have the live meeting that they try to be on time. I completely understand technology issues, and that they pay attention for the whole meeting. Then they'll complete the rest of the to-do list. Usually I will have gone over what those steps are, what they mean during the live meeting. Once they have completed that, or if they're having trouble, a big thing I need to talk about is encouraging the students that anytime there are technical problems, just tell me, because I can tell you I have had so many technical problems with just about everything that we're supposed to use. Sometimes the technology works beautifully, but I don't think I've had a single thing that we've used that's technology-based that hasn't caused problems. Grading. So we have 3 categories of grades in my class. 60% of their grade in my class is from projects. There are late points taken away. They're better off if they turn in a project that's not done very well or that they haven't really fully finished. Turning that in on time and initially getting a lower grade, because I let any and all projects be resubmitted and ask me to regrade them, to work on them, to figure out what you want to do to get your grade up. So if they turn in something on time, then 2 or 3 days later, or even 2 weeks later, if they return that project in, say, Ms. Campbell, you go back and grade that project for me, and I go back and everything is, they could end up with 100. But if they turn it in 3 days late and it's perfect, it's already, I've already had to subtract 30 points. So I am just trying to get them to understand, please turn in something on time, even if it's a tiny bit, even if it's 25% of the project, you'll be better off than if you turn it in late. Grading policy, step 2, so project 60%, quizzes are 20% of their grade. All quizzes are open notes. I tell them exactly what notes to write down, and I review all the questions, the exact questions that will be on the quiz, the class before we take the quiz. Effective participation is 20% of their grade. All students start with 100. They lose 10 points for any part of the to-do list that is not a graded part, but they didn't complete it. So watching an instruction video, I don't grade them watching an instruction video, but they are supposed to do it. So that is part of their effective participation. And I use a program that tells me who has watched them and who has completed the activities. I teach mostly through pre-recorded lessons to allow students to go at their own pace. The program shows me who's watched and participated in the activity. So I check my list, and if their name is missing, they'll lose 10 points. But if they go back and complete that activity, and then they have to let me know that, hey, I went back and completed that activity, then they can have their points back. Safety routines in my classroom. On the way into class, they get hand sanitizer, they grab their assigned laptop, and they clean it and sanitize it with alcohol wipes. Then at the end of the class, they get more alcohol wipes and they clean and sanitize their laptop again before putting it away. And then they get hand sanitizer on their way out the door. Tips for a successful year. Please really help working on getting your child to have a good night's sleep. I've had more kids fall asleep this year than I think I've ever seen before. I think it's the pandemic and quarantining and stuff like that, where kids are just used to staying up late. Also, if your child is struggling, see if they need help organizing. A very common struggle in middle school is just not being able to keep up with what goes with what class, or they've lost their notes and things like that. And then just have patience and expect technology to cause problems that are no one's fault, because it will happen every day, pretty much. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video.